Welcome, everyone. I'm Astrologer Val Evans, and you are watching Astrology and Crime. I am joined tonight by Amber, clairvoyant Amber, with Taurus Moon Tarot, and we are going to talk about the mystery centered around Hannah Kobayashi. And got a few more charts for you tonight. So thank you so much for joining us. And if you like this show, please hit the like button. We'd love to see this show in the feed. So far, I haven't seen it. So we could use a few more likes. And we'd love to get these clues out there. So we discussed some of the clues that we saw yesterday. And it's a fascinating case, just a really tragic thing that would happen for this young woman, and just one thing after another, and right around the holidays. So pretty tragic for her and the family. So we're going to get to the bottom of this. Hey, Shauna, nice to see you. And a special thank you to Angel, who's moderating tonight. Ample Spark, great to see you. Lena, BS, Bobby Lynn, and Teresa's here, and Sean Mahoney. So it looks like we've got a good group tonight. And I'm going to just add Amber. Hello, Amber.
Hi, good evening again.
I know we weren't expecting to come on tonight, but there were more things that we had to discuss. And you sent me this morning the birth details of
Yeah.
Hannah. So, of course, we did not look at that last night. So, we're going to look at that tonight. We're going to look at her solar chart, Hannah's predictive solar chart. Return chart, and her transit chart as well. Now, there has been a lot of conjecture online, particularly TikTok. We've got a lot of psychics coming out, astrologers. Everybody wants to figure out. Also, some really good sleuthing online. And the latest development is that the screenshots of whoever she was talking to have been made public, and looks like she had sent money to two different people.
Yeah.
And these people are now called the Venmo 2. So strange kind of connection there with the name. And we were talking last night about the Idaho 4. So weird with the Gemini and those types of clues we were getting. So, but we were talking this morning, and you had a little story about LAX.
A friend of mine, she's a young college gal. She was not part of the group traveling, but a group of her friends, 5 or 6, early 20 somethings. And they were leaving LAX to go somewhere on the East Coast. And they stopped at the ladies' room where one of the gals needed to use the restroom. And while she went in, the group of friends, as they would, stood outside with her suitcase and her purse and her belongings so she could just run in and run out. And they waited for who knows how long, too long. They thought, something's wrong. Why hasn't she come out of the bathroom yet? Why didn't we see her? So they went to flag down a security guy, and they start telling him, our friend went in and she's not in there. She was gone. She was just gone. And as they were talking, he got a radio call down the jetway a little bit, and there was a bit of a ruckus at another gate for a flight leaving to go to Mexico, where an older lady with a young girl who appeared to be intoxicated and sort of, leaning on her, couldn't really hold herself up. It turned out to be the friend. And this woman was attempting to get her onto this flight with a bogus boarding pass. And her friends were like, that's our friend. That is our friend. She's not going to Mexico. She's coming with us. And it turned out the lady had gone into the ladies' room and stuck her in the thigh at the sink with some kind of drug and just walked her out as if she was just a drunken, young passenger. Almost got away with it.
Yeah. And right past the friend group, I guess.
Yes. As they were all just talking and hanging out, and completely missed it. I mean, it's terrifying to think about. It's terrifying.
What was the age group?
They were in their early 20s. I think 20. Oh. Yeah, they were young. 19 might have been the youngest one.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So we're talking some serious shenanigans that happen at all airports, but interesting that you just happen to have one a year ago at LAX. So we're hoping that did not happen, but it does seem like there's some kind of CCTV. I don't think we've seen it yet. It hasn't been made public, but the victim, the person who's missing, Hannah, did not seem like, according to her family, like she was at full capacity there. So I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that, but who knows? Maybe she was hunched over, maybe she was having trouble or whatever.
Mm.
Well, now
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll go over to let's take a look before we do that, just a reminder, we are on Friday, live streaming Friday, 4:30 Eastern, 9:30 BST. We are looking at predictive charts for Charles and Prince William, and it looks pretty ugly, actually. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that and also the UK headlines, all about predictions and how to make your own predictions. And here is the example chart of what we look at for crime charts. And so if you're trying to figure out what's what, this is a good primer for you to look at. And so much in, like I said last night, the ninth house, which is long distance travel, foreigners, bridges. So we were talking about those types of clues. I'm wondering if you wanted to talk a little bit about who this female is, because there seems to be two people, and I think these people are scammers. I also think that the female was the one who typed those texts to her family
Mhm.
because she was saying words like babe and just,
Yeah.
saying things like funds and,
Yeah.
some other phrases that they were like, she wouldn't say something like that. Plus,
Yeah.
there were no emojis, and Hannah used a lot of emojis, so there were little tips that were
Yeah.
indicating that it wasn't really her that was texting. So this female, I wonder, could this be a somebody who wants to take her money?
I cannot believe you said something about a woman because I did draw cards outside of our discussion last night and the clues that we had from yesterday. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to ask about a female because the first card that came out was the Empress. And I clarified and said, is there, a feminine energy around this? And the next card that comes out is this older matriarchal high priestess. And then I said, well, what is she doing? Well, she is hiding things with the moon. And this is another sort of motherly feminine energy with the moon, but it's hidden, it's secret. And I said, well, what is it all to do with? And the last card was the money, the Four of Pentacles. So I
Wow.
can't believe you just shared that chart. I've not seen that till right now.
Yeah. You can definitely see there is some kind of a strike. And Venus can be money, but it can also be a woman, and it can mean
Mhm.
like electronic funds, trying somehow to get into her bank account, but at the same time, there's so much about the partner that's involved. So
Yeah.
this could simply be the psychology, and they're playing on the fact that maybe she's weak at this point, and maybe they're trying to help her, quote unquote, help her in some way. So I'm going to share this again, and let's see, Angel, you're saying that's so creepy. I've had that before when my male friend's new girlfriend would text me pretending to be him to see if I'd respond to sexy texts. Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a trap.
yeah.
God, Angel, you could write a book. Let's see. Shauna, you did a truth finder Spokio search. And Shauna, you sent me some clues. Thank you so much for that. You've got some names. And so I'm going to take a look. And there is, just to make it a little bit closer up, and there's Jupiter in retrograde. Jupiter retrograde in Scorpio. For a husband, you don't want to get married. I'm afraid to say, I was looking at Sharon Stone's birth chart. And let me tell you, she's been through the ringer with that husband of hers.
Yeah.
And she's been reporting lately that, not to get off the topic, but
No.
just to give an example,
No.
she claims that after she had a stroke, he took her child. And, there's two sides to every story, but through her lens, this man did her wrong and was a huge disappointment. And so this is what can happen with this type of profile where Jupiter's in retrograde, it's in Scorpio, which is trying to get revenge or being betrayed or feeling jealous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is the solar and birth chart together. And I noticed that Jupiter and Uranus is in the 12th house. So usually and this is if I got the time right, but Jupiter is in her 12th house. And usually when that happens for someone, it shows that the partner disappears.
Mm.
Poof, they just go. And they do it in this case very fast because of Uranus there.
Right.
And it's like it's super fast. But
Mm.
notice how for her chart, and it doesn't matter what time that you put in here, Uranus transits over her Chiron, which is a sudden wound, and it's
Yeah.
also to the neck.
Yeah.
So there's some type of, some kind
Mhm.
of a wound there, and it's opposing part of fortune in Scorpio. So there's some Scorpio energy, again, the strike that's coming in. Now, the thing that I don't like is Jupiter is trining the nefarious Black Moon Lilith. So this is somebody who could be a foreign guy who
Yeah.
is luring. It's a lure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there is some kind of strategy here. I wanted to show you. Yeah, there it is right here. Jupiter's always going to represent either a significant other,
Mhm.
or it's going to, like, a husband,
Yeah.
or it could be just somebody that wants to pose as a potential significant other.
Right.
Notice too that there's a square here with Venus in Aquarius. So
Mm.
trying to get money. And so here is Venus represents money.
Yeah.
So there it is. Now, there's Jupiter and Uranus conjunct. This is a big strike.
Yeah.
It's a really hard conjunction, the Jupiter Uranus, and everybody's going through it. Everybody has it in one house or another.
Mm.
And so this is her solar return chart. Okay. Now, this is a predictive solar return chart. And before we get to this, let me just go to the chat real quick. I feel like we should get a
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
And Heather's here. Hey, Heather. Um, yes, and there's where you can subscribe to Amber. Thank you so much for putting that up. Let's see. No worries. Hi, Nora. Nice to see you. Yes, don't forget to book a reading, and you can also go to the description box to find out more about Amber. I have to put it in after the show. And yeah, Buckeye Clay fan, I've been thinking a lot about this case today. A lot of people have. You don't want to see a woman just disappear, and especially during the holidays, let
Yeah.
alone at all. Now, all right, so I am seeing here with this solar return chart, it just seems like she's being hidden, and there's a possibility that she could still be alive.
Yeah.
So I am going to ask the question: is there, how should we ask it? Is there hope that she can make it? Can she survive this? It's a hard
Yeah.
question.
Let's see. Yes. The Three of Cups. Not without some help and support, and probably not very quickly. It almost feels like it will be something that takes time with that Knight of Pentacles. I'm also seeing this as, oh, yes, Jupiter, Wheel of Fortune. So it is a yes. It's this Knight of Pentacles is like the man working diligently behind the scenes and crossing the T's, dotting the I's, and really getting the information before making a move to maybe find her. There's work behind the scenes, strategy. You said that in this kind of, he's very strategic, not moving in quickly, but there's
Interesting.
support there. Yeah.
So when you look at those cards and you're like, there's some time that takes place, are
Mhm.
there cards that show you that something is going to move slower? Like, how do you know that?
Pentacles, anything really earth energy is a little slower.
Ah,
Fire energy is faster.
okay.
Depending on where it is, a night is sort of somewhere in the middle, like weeks,
Okay.
versus maybe an Ace of Pentacles, I see as more like longer term, like a year. But
Okay.
days might be something like a fire, or air, is
Okay.
quick. Yeah.
Sprout is having trouble with the link. It worked as of today, but I'll check it out after the show. But thank you for looking that up. And all right, so let's look at this now. This is the predictive solar return chart that everybody can look at for themselves. You go to AstroSeek and you click on, once you get your birth chart, the solar return. It's called solar chart, and it's in the top right in orange. There's a little link. Make sure that you click solar only and also put the city in for where you were in your last birthday. If you haven't had your birthday yet, Then you're going to still press the 2023, but most of us have had our birthday, so we're looking at the 2024 solar return. So this would start Hannah's predictive solar return chart March 19th. And so we're going to look at the first house for March. And that starts March 19th and it goes to April 19th. And it's so interesting. I just happened to pick a morning time. If anybody knows when she was born, please let me know. We'll do another show. But I picked a morning time, and this came up for her solar return chart. So around her birthday, she is thinking about Leo things. She's thinking about vacation. It wouldn't be surprising to me if she was thinking about maybe booking something, doing something fun. She wanted to go to a concert, all of that stuff. So this chart shows that she is a Cancer rising. And what is the Cancer rising planet? It is the moon. And so what we want to do is we want to look at the moon there for a second. Whoops, hold on. There we go. Moon is right here. It's in the 12th house, which would show that she could be, we can't see her. The 12th house is to disappear, but there still might be hope that we can get to her. So I'm going to go back to how we would do this. Now you can see that the first house is March 19th, and you count all the way around until October 19th. Now this is the 8th house. Very, very obviously difficult month for her. She went from Uranus to Neptune because this house or this month was intercepted. So it's going to take on two profiles, and it's going to switch from Uranus, which interestingly enough is opposing Scorpio. So it looks like, honestly, it looks like a huge fight. It looks like a huge, huge change in a relationship.
Yeah.
And with Mars there, so much anger. How could you do this? What were you thinking? And everything is cut.
Yeah.
So then we get into, this is around the time that she went missing. So, and I think that's when Neptune started to come in. And what is Neptune? It is the planet that means to go missing. And so you were just saying, now you're going to think this is wild. What is Saturn plus Venus? That's an older woman who is foreign.
Yeah.
Just like what you said. So this person is somehow in the mix in this month.
Yeah.
Right around the time, and 8 degrees too. This is a person who, wants other people's money, is potentially someone who has killed before. And it also looks, with a trine to part of fortune, this person pulls this off initially. Now, weird how there is a sextile to Jupiter, which you can't really see. It's right here. You could see right here. Here she is. And there is a channel here to this is a relationship. So maybe she is getting information somehow about this breakup. Maybe it's online. Maybe she's like, tell me what the problem is. And she gets information. Somehow she's getting something easily to her because that blue line.
Yeah.
And so now we passed November 19th. So now we're going to go over to the November 19th to December 19th. And so now we've got two other signs. Well, we're still in Pisces, but then we've got Aries that's going to come in. I think that's going to come in probably the first week of December. And it's going to be a completely different profile to this crime. And what's crazy about that, so here's when Mars would come in, and let me show you. This is Mars here. And what's going to happen? It looks pretty big. It looks like, and this is what I'm going to ask you to help me with. It looks like gunfire because of Mars. It looks like the police are trying to. Mars is the police. It could be online. This is something pretty big that we're gonna hear about, especially if it's in the ninth house, that's the press.
Mm.
And this also Aries represents the police, so they're it looks like trying to get connected with Hannah somehow, but it looks like they're not able to, at least in that time frame.
Okay.
So, what the heck is going on here? It looks like there's some kind of a shootout of some sort.
Like a raid is what came to
Yes,
my mind, like a raid.
like a
Yeah.
raid.
Mhm. SWAT.
Mhm.
Somebody put something up about the birth date. They said they found a different birth date for her.
Yes, I found that one too, but I couldn't
Verify.
validate it.
Yeah.
Yours looked a little bit better. She's a Pisces, but
Yeah.
we'll have to make sure to validate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Let's see.
Shauna. That is so sweet.
Oh, let me see what this raid
Okay.
is about. And this is December, you said. First week, second week?
Yep, this is December, and Shauna, you looks like you've got a good time there, so we can try that one too, but, for now, let's look and see what
Mm. Yeah, it's oh, the tower. So this certainly feels like gunfire and like you said, a shootout or something. Um, there's this older woman again, Pisces though. This is Pisces woman. In the upright is positive. Ah, but there's that Two of Wands in reverse. It's not successful. It's like, you know what it makes me think of? Swatting, where
Okay.
they get those SWAT calls where, is that right? Where they get
Yeah,
called to a location that
but
there's
it's
not
fake.
the right, it's like a diversion. Oh, look over here, and it's not the right place.
Mhm. Something where they're not yeah, the police, they're blocked for some reason, but it looks really intense, like they are going in, but it just
Yeah,
doesn't work at first.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, for sure. That's what I see.
Okay, Amble Spark, you're saying, December 24th, 93 though, okay? And Love Life Laugh. This case is so weird, also mysterious.
Oh.
All right, so, I can definitely it's so Mercury retrograde, and it's
Ooh,
not one thing that I like to do looking at cases because we always have to do things twice because that's Mercury retrograde.
yeah,
Mercury is too. But we'll at least start with these charts
yeah.
first. Uh, Natalie, you said when the tower came out, I immediately thought of her dad. Yes. Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
so then what happens after this? And this is just, even if this isn't perfect, you're getting an idea of how you would read a solar return chart at least. So, each house is a month. And so now here is January 19th. So December 19th to January 19th. And lots of police. It just seems like a lot of wounds. But
Mhm.
according to this chart, it looks like somebody can well, first of all, the victim might be or have an opportunity to be independent. Uranus is to break free and, get her independence. So
Okay.
this could be around and it links up with what you're saying where there might be a little time when there's a possibility, but
Yeah.
she might have an opportunity to leave, I would say mid-January,
Mm.
but can we get a card about, an escape?
Yeah, I was going to say that word escape. And when you said about injuries or wounds, I had the Nine of Wands come out with the Tower, which is about like injuries, someone being injured.
Okay.
So let's see about January. Yes, there's that Wheel of Fortune again with a similar question we asked before about her being able to overcome this or come out the other side. The Wheel of Fortune, second time. And the sun on the bottom. That's freedom. That is a freedom
Wow,
card.
that definitely is. That looks like a very positive card.
Yeah, and especially with that together, that's a lot of amazing luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's if this chart is right, and I can pull another chart at another time,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay. Nora would like to know, are there other victims?
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Hmm. I say yes, yes. Well, there's, oh my gosh, all the women, multiple women, all three of the
Whoa.
queens. The only
Okay.
one we're missing is the pentacles. Yes. And
Okay.
then this sort of,
Yeah.
stealing away.
This seems to be like these people are going to be revealed maybe.
Mhm.
People, not just the victims, but I mean, whoever is behind this. But these are
Yeah.
scammers.
Yeah.
Definitely scammers, definitely financially motivated. Now, I think it's, is it Jennifer Coffenbender, from the
Yeah.
FBI? She came out today saying that this is probably, um, a stranger. She is a FBI
Yeah.
profiler, and I think common sense might tell us that that's the case because it
Yeah.
doesn't look like she, Hannah,
Yeah.
knew the person that she was walking with.
Right.
But, but there's a possibility, I think, that there had to be some kind of, I mean, not always,
Yeah.
it could be something random, but perhaps they connected online,
Yeah.
and, I think that's her name, Heather. Yeah, I would agree, Buckeye Clay fan, and something evil is lurking around LAX. Oh, should we ask something about that? Is there something that is gonna be revealed about Los Angeles Airport, LAX?
Mm. I almost am getting, just as we're talking, this is separate, but this high priestess, I've never had this hit before, but it's making me think of the word gypsy, like gypsies.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting from that card. Let's see. LAX, this Queen of Wands, it's like she's a ringleader. And now the Queen of Swords in reverse. There's such an intense female element. Page of Swords in reverse, it's like a secret society. I don't know why that comes out. The page is that sort of spy that does things with people's information. They steal information. Might even be something around stealing children's identities with the Page of Cups.
Yes. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Queen of Cups again. I have all of the queens again.
I wonder if Queen, the word, if that has something to do with,
Perhaps.
maybe they're from Queens, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I saw something about a woman, Ample Spark says, connected and just checked it out. The guy she paid for the tarot reading has a woman working with him, dark hair, maybe Mexican, named Veronica. I didn't know she had dark hair, so
No.
that's good to know. So this quote unquote Veronica, probably a fake name. We see so much fake with Pisces.
Yeah.
Everything's fake, everything's disguised.
Yeah.
And so that's not
Mhm.
easy. Now, let's see here. What else do I have? This is the crime chart for 2025. It's what I did was I typed in the crime chart and then I did the 2025 solar return for that as if it's a person, as if the
Right.
crime turns 1 year old,
Right.
1 years old. And so we have Uranus right at the top here opposing Mars and Mercury retrograde. These are foreigners here. These are two people. This is a group and lots of fire energy, but could be sometimes with Sagittarius, you get religious,
Mhm.
you get a college. So maybe a college has something to do with it, but it is in line with the bridge that we were talking about
Yeah.
yesterday. So this is some kind of something is being broken, and it might be actually positive here. But because of this Scorpio is going to show thieves,
Mhm.
taking something of others. That's what Venus in Scorpio is,
Yeah.
taking other people's money. And I almost feel as if definitely these people will be revealed. But interesting how Scorpio is in the fourth house,
Mhm.
and that is the basement of a
Yes.
home.
Yeah.
So we talked about that yesterday. We might be looking at maybe some kind of clue about the
Mm.
basement and what's happening down there. I never like Black Moon Lilith, especially in Scorpio. These are deviant people, and you could see there's a big T square with the moon. Now, the moon is often the victim,
Yeah.
and so this is some type of, you know,
Mm.
it I would say that she has a choice, or she has a chance to come out of this, but this does not look good for 2025.
Mm.
And but that's not gonna start till next November. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure exactly what that means, but at the same time, you have Jupiter, which is a partner,
Mm.
and let me see. Oops. Sorry. I can't really see it, but Jupiter's a partner, and it's here in the 12th house, which would mean incarceration.
Oh.
So, is there a possibility that somebody, maybe one of her partners,
Hmm.
it's like one or the other. Are they
Yeah.
scammers, or is this an ex?
Yeah.
Or is it somebody posing as a potential partner who's a scammer? That's,
Mm.
I think, probably the likeliest
Yeah.
scenario. But who is doing time next year? Somebody's
Yeah.
going to jail for this.
He's going to be incarcerated. Oh, maybe three people. It could be more than one person, that Three of Cups. And
Yes.
that is female also. So
Mhm.
I don't know if, yes, it's, oh, the scammers, the lovers, the liars, the sneaks. It's like a little group are caught. It's like
That's amazing.
it could be a couple, that they are a couple.
The scammers, the liars, and the sneaks, you said? It sounded
Yeah.
like a song or something.
Yeah.
Yes, the lovers and the sneaks. Uh, Nora, thanks for the show, ladies. More victims. Gotta go. Might catch the rest on the replay. Definitely. Yes, thank you, Buckeye Clayfan. Jennifer Coffindaffer is the name.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
Uh,
a theme of threes here in all of these
Breeze.
cards. I've got that Three of Swords now, the Three of Cups a couple of times. This Seven of Swords, I'm going to try to share the image. This is the creepiest of the decks for the image of this person. It just gives me the creeps. And we already know this is a thief. You know, someone stealing, getting away with something, sneaking off. But the image of that person just gives me the creeps with all that crazy hair.
And it even looks like it could be a woman. I mean, it
Yeah,
could be either one, but
yeah,
I could
yeah,
see that being a woman.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So let me see here. Let me go back and look at this. Yeah. So much Scorpio, so much. Let's think about this. Scorpio is an investigation. This looks like a huge investigation. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And I say that because you see that blue triangle there, which is this massive blue grand trine. If you see it in your own solar return chart, or even better, in your birth chart, this is great luck, great fortune. In this case, the water signs are all aligning and flowing, and it's making a difference. Somebody is winning here. It's a win. And so seems as if uh with Scorpio, that's a secret. And we're also talking about Pisces, which is spying, and we're talking about people going, it's almost like investigators in disguise.
Yeah.
So, this might be an ongoing investigation, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think, let me see, what else do I have here? Yeah, so here's the crime chart for November 8th, and all of that Pisces there. This is disguises. This is foreign people. This is because with um, part of fortune, this is something it's a successful scam,
Yeah.
and lots of fakery with. Let me see. Yeah, there's that Venus in Capricorn there, and there is a possibility that someone might tip, and this is going to be my last
Yeah.
question because I know everybody's got to go. They're working on their Thanksgiving plans and all of that,
Yep.
but uh, I wanted to ask you: is there a spy? Is there somebody undercover who could potentially really break this case?
Let's see. I was going to use the word disguise when you said that could be a female in that card. I was thinking it's like someone with a wig on, that crazy hair, and that image looked like um
Yes.
oh, Temperance. Judgment. Yes, it'll turn this case sort of around. It places it in a different direction. Someone who's sort of behind the scenes, like I said before, someone behind the scenes is doing some kind of work. Maybe that's what I mean when I say behind the scenes, like someone not maybe undercover. I don't know,
Okay.
someone undercover, and it changes the course of it.
It's like it almost showed like two angels, like some
Yeah,
people coming to the rescue or something.
yeah,
So,
it
hey,
is.
Lisa, nice to see you. Yes. Okay.
And
Okay.
this is a Sag timing card too.
Okay. Beach Butterfly says, yeah, her poor dad. I hope that it gets investigated though, because who knows about that death? Unusual to say the least. I know. I know that was a real shock.
Yeah.
And Angel. Yeah. So I think I already showed this, but she was getting readings, sending money via Venmo. These people, they think they're so smart, and they don't realize that
Yeah.
there's a digital footprint and you
Yeah.
can be tracked. But what this one Jonathan Taylor is saying, oh my God, it just occurred to me. What is Taylor? It's Leo.
Yeah.
And what is right in front of her, or right, I should say, right behind her,
Oh,
this guy right here, this is the
yeah.
fake Pisces, Jonathan Taylor right here. We were thinking it might be like an authority figure because sometimes Leo is law enforcement, and that could still be the case.
Yeah.
But there does seem to be a man that's right behind her.
Yeah.
Maybe she hasn't connected as of November 8th, but that's part of the profile of her landing. This is her landing time on November 8th,
Wow.
and showing that, this guy is, he could even say, because of this fake name, probably Jonathan Taylor, showing Pisces, and he's able to get away with it because of the trine there.
Yeah.
But maybe he has a lot of hair,
Yes.
or he could be bald. That's also Leo.
Yeah.
And he could say something like, "Oh, don't worry about me. I used to be in the force," and
Yeah.
show her a badge or something. So it would be like a
Right.
fake badge, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility as part of
Yeah.
that. So crazy that Leo is definitely in there. So this guy needs to be checked out. And also, this guy is opposing Pluto. And this is somebody who could get either extremely angry about something. Uh, there's a fight here of some sort. I don't know what the fight is about.
Do you see anything there related to the money, the Venmo, that maybe she didn't actually send those Venmos?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And I ask
Um,
because they didn't show the amount, which I would think maybe if they were the thieves sending themselves money via her
mhm,
Venmo, they didn't want the amount to be known. I don't know.
right. Well, apparently what Jonathan Taylor said to, I mean, who knows if this is true or not, but he
Yeah.
told the police, and I think he just told the police that um, he was scammed as well.
Oh.
So he's trying to paint himself as an alleged victim.
Oh.
Now, this was November 8th,
Oh.
and I think, was it, I think it was late at night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Uh, let's see what it was. I think it was like 9:45 PM. And I'm just gonna pull it up. Los Angeles. Oops. Hang on. California. I keep getting chilly. It's California. Why does it
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde. It's not chilly,
Yes.
people. Hold on. Let me type it in again.
And this is for, you're
This
looking the time of her
her landing.
landing.
Okay, so hopefully you can see this. And okay, so her second house, this is finances. And so we're going to look and see where that is, and that's the sun here.
Mm.
So this is strange. Is this right? This is the fourth house.
Mm.
I'm trying to see if there's some kind of fakery that's going on, but it
Yeah.
does seem like, let's see, the moon is here. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
The sun is ruling the second house, and so that would be finances. In Scorpio, it's usually somebody, can be stealing.
Yeah.
And moon in Aquarius would be electronically. So there is some kind of
Yeah.
electronic thing where somebody's trying to get the funds and can't.
Yeah.
The sun often is the perpetrator.
Mm.
So there's a possibility that it didn't go exactly the way that it was planned.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, it was Mercury retrograde, which usually
Yes.
happens. It kind of affects what's going on. But I'm wondering what this opposition to Pluto is. I mean, Pluto can mean an assault. It can mean it's just extreme.
Yeah.
It could mean a lot of people, actually. Mars
Yeah.
squaring Pluto can mean a lot of law enforcement, a lot of men, a lot of Leos, a lot of cats.
Huh.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Can you I just one more card? Go, who are these cats?
Hey. Now, the world. And in this image, it just stands out the lion heads at the bottom of the card, the cats
Get
at the
out.
bottom of the card.
That's unbelievable. So some kind of a network of a lot of people. Could be a
Yes.
kingdom, could be someplace where, there's a lot of power, a lot of people who are
King of Cups, Scorpio. Yeah. And anger. Did you say Mars? Was Mars there?
Yeah.
This is Gemini energy, though. This is actually like Mercury. This is when Mercury goes direct and full force, which is interesting.
Yeah, I'm
But
glad you
it's
mentioned that.
online communication thing. The internet moves fast. This is that kind of fast movement of communication, worldwide communication.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I am going to continue to monitor this. We've got another chart we can look at another time.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, everyone, happy Thanksgiving. And to you too, Amber, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.